Rachel grew up in a cramped two-bedroom apartment above her mother's hair salon in a tired part of town. The floors creaked, the walls were thin, and in the summer the place became a stifling oven. But from that small window in her room, she'd stare out at the grand houses on the hill, their wraparound porches, sparkling windows, and neatly trimmed lawns, and imagine one day she'd not just live in one of those homes, she'd help others find theirs too. Her mother, a single parent, worked 12-hour days on her feet, cutting, coloring, and styling hair. Rachel watched her mother's hands grow calloused, her back ache, and her eyes tired, but she also saw strength and perseverance. "Nothing worth having comes easy, baby," her mom would say, pressing a kiss to Rachel's forehead before heading out the door at dawn. When Rachel turned 24, she decided it was time to chase her dream. She worked double shifts at a diner, waited tables at weddings, and took on side gigs painting houses. Anything to save for real estate school. Every dollar was accounted for, tucked away in a battered coffee tin hidden in the closet. When she finally had enough, she enrolled. And that's when the real test began. Real estate school was harder than she ever expected. Contracts, legal jargon, zoning laws. It all felt overwhelming at first. Her classmates seemed so confident while she struggled just to keep up. At night, after long work shifts, she'd sit at the kitchen table surrounded by textbooks and flashcards, fighting to stay awake. She lived on black coffee and determination, falling asleep with her head on the books more nights than she could count. Her first licensing exam loomed like a mountain. The night before, she barely slept, rereading chapters until dawn. And when she walked out of that testing center, she felt like crying from relief. She'd passed. Barely, but she passed. And so it went with every class, every exam. Each one chipped away at her doubts and built up her confidence. When she finally earned her license, she thought the hard part was over. It wasn't. As a brand new agent in a saturated market, Rachel faced rejection at every turn. People doubted her because she was young, because she didn't have connections, because she was just starting out. But Rachel wasn't afraid of hard work. She knocked on doors in the pouring rain. She handed out business cards at grocery stores, hardware shops, and farmers markets. She offered to host open houses for other agents just to learn the ropes. She cold-called leads until her voice went hoarse and followed up even when they hung up on her. Slowly, things started to change. Her first client was a young couple looking for a small starter home. She poured everything she had into helping them, staying up late researching listings, driving across town to showings at all hours, and negotiating hard to get them a great deal. When they closed on their house, they hugged her like family, and they referred their friends. That first deal led to another, and then another. Her reputation grew. Rachel was the agent who went above and beyond, the one who fought for her clients, who answered calls at midnight, who treated first-time buyers like VIPs. Year after year, Rachel climbed higher. She opened her own agency. She hired a team. She won regional, then national awards. By the time she was 40, she was at the top of the industry, recognized globally with her name synonymous with integrity, excellence, and hustle. Rachel became the #1 real estate agent in the world. She spoke at international conferences. She appeared on magazine covers. Her company handled record-breaking deals across continents. Yet in her office, right beside her gleaming awards, she kept that old coffee tin, the one she used to save for school, and a framed photo of the tiny apartment above the hair salon, because no matter how far she'd come, Rachel never forgot where she started. And whenever someone asked how she did it, she'd smile with that same spark in her eyes and say, "There's no magic. I just didn't quit."